Hello, everybody. My name is Victor Alvarez, and right now we are covering a tornado warning in effect for the SO and north central Payne County. Surrounding our is a severe thunderstorm warning, and right now, Noah, can you pull up velocities? All right, and zoom into that. Yeah, velocities look to have come down a little bit, but it is still quite impressive. So if you live in Glencoe, you need to be taking your tornado precautions. If you live in any areas in Glencoe, if you live south or east of Glencoe, you also need to be taking your tornado precautions. Um, it appears that rotation has come down a little bit. Mm, it doesn't look as impressive as it did just a while ago, but this could definitely change. Noah, which way is this headed? All right. This has a speed of, right now, this appears to be moving at around 20. It's moving east at 25 miles per hour. So if you live in Quay, you also need to be thinking about your tornado safety precautions. Yale, and if this thing continues as far as Jennings or Oilton. So if you live in any of those areas, you need to be thinking about your tornado safety precautions. Right now, Glencoe, you need to be in your safe spot, interior room of your house, storm cellar, anywhere that has to do with that has to do underground. Right now that appears. No, what are the? Can you zoom in on those velocities again? Hmm. Yeah. What are your thoughts on this? This thing.
Well, it actually is kind of like you said, it has come back down quite a bit, though. And just looking at a reflectivity perspective, there wouldn't be any particular spot you would look at this and say, well, that looks like that's where a tornado will most likely be. It's going to be in this little area just south of Glencoe. But yeah, there's definite rotations still, but it's not as significant and intense as it was when they first issued the tornado warning.
Exactly. Yeah. So I do believe, again, this is still a tornado warning. So if you live in Glencoe, you still need to be in your safe place. Anywhere north, if you live north or west of Glencoe, you'll just be experiencing large hail, maybe some damaging winds and heavy rain. But as far as Glencoe is concerned, you are under a tornado warning. It does not appear that rotation has intensified. Yeah, this is very broad rotation. So anywhere near Glencoe, you need to be in your safe place. I do think that this tornado warning will be pulled and it'll be expiring here very soon. This tornado warning expires at 4. So until 4.
Real quick, I know we don't always use this mode of guarding a lot of the times. If there is any tornado, it's probably going to be, wow, this is actually kind of close to Glencoe. If you live, as a matter of fact, if I can get in a little bit tighter and then off the streets here. Well, if you live between South Perry, West Shepherd, North Rose, East Glencoe Road, all the way down to um, in between State Highway. That's still part of North Rose Road. But if you live anywhere near the Cimarron, where the Cimarron Turnpike and let's see, which road is this going to be? Cimarron Turnpike goes east. But yeah, if you live south of Glencoe, between there, like you were saying a minute ago, there, Quay, Yale. I know Yale is a slightly bigger community, but it's still fairly small. You still want to be taking your tornado precautions, even though you aren't immediately in the warning area. Conditions are kind of there today to get storms going and have them going for quite a while. So you just want to be prepared in the event that a tornado warning is issued later on.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree with you. In the meantime, again, rotation does look to have intensified just a little bit. Noah, can you pull up velocities again? Yeah. That little area right there, just southeast of Glencoe, around 2 to 3 miles. If you live in Glencoe or areas south and east, you need to be in your safe place. It appears that the rotation continues to weaken, although it has intensified just a little bit in the past scan. Again, Glencoe, safe place. Area south, safe place.
Real quick, I know this may be a kind of a delayed report, but there was a report I just saw in Guardian actually report in the radar itself. I guess we have some of the reports come through the actual system, but there was a semi overturned northwest of Glencoe, and I know out up there. There's a lot of people up there that drive semis on I-35 coming south out of Kansas and Nebraska and coming out of Missouri. This isn't a confirmed tornado, I don't believe. So I don't think this situation is as dire as it could be, but it's still something to take very seriously and to take your immediate tornado precautions.
Exactly. As well, if you're on the road, if you're moving around, you need to get out of your car and you need to find a safe place to take shelter, especially south of the highway and west. You need to be in your safe place. Rotation, it does look like this will also be wrapped in rain, so you will not be able to see it. This is a high precipitation supercell. Noah, can you zoom in into those velocities real fast? Yeah, that's definitely not a very impressive signature, although it does look to be indicative of some sort of rotation. Again, so if you live in Glencoe and areas that point south and east, you need to be in your safe place. If you're on the road, you need to get out and you need to find shelter. And if you find shelter, middle part of the building, lowest floor. If you can, go underground.
Real quick, I know we were talking about just the damaging wind threats and stuff like that. I do want to pull up if I can get. Let me see if I can get this other mode of Guardian to respond back. Switching to. There we go. There's actually this is actually just looking at the hail product from the actual radar itself. I'm guessing either we just lost the sweep or are we going through an update or what? Let me go back. Well, yeah. Well, see, now, like I said, it's just the latest scan. The heaviest, or not heaviest, the largest hail is going to actually be south of Glencoe. This actually is even closer to Stillwater. So if you live, in fact, we can zoom in. Here's actually this actually is a little neighborhood right here. We can zoom in on if you live north of the old State Highway 51. If you live on North Meadow Lane, Shallowbrook Lane, excuse me, Stony Brook, or East Meadowbrook, next to State Highway 108, probably are going to be experiencing some hail in the next couple of minutes, if not now. And looking, I guess, if we can see the hail sizes, we're about almost a tennis ball. We're about 1.7 inches. 1.6 inches is what we're looking at so far. but the tornado threat does look like it is further north. And I guess just from this last scan, the tornado threat looks like it has gone away a little bit. So that may be
Yes,
a good
and they
thing.
have also expanded the severe thunderstorm warning to now include portions of Pawnee County, and it includes the towns of Merrimack, Pawnee, and northern parts of Quay. So if you live in that area, you will be experiencing large hail, damaging winds, and some very large hail. Noah, again, what can you pull up hail? Yeah, that's definitely some large hail. So you could get golf balls, maybe some tennis balls mixed in there, but that is very large hail. Again, tornado warning continues for Glencoe. Areas that point south and east, velocities have weakened considerably. We are not getting as tight and as profound rotation as we did just a while ago. But again, still a tornado warning. Glencoe and areas that point south and east, you need to be in your safe place, interior part of your house, lowest floor, underground if you can. Again, we also have another storm down near Cushing. If you live in Cushing, the tornado warning does not affect you, but south in Cushing, this storm is intensifying but does not have a tornado warning. Again,
Real
yeah,
quick, Victor, if I can say something. I did notice, and this is just looking through the radar data and looking at some of the not just composites, but that little notch where they say, I don't know if the little green symbol is showing up in the actual stream itself through the radar, but this little green circle basically means that you have rotation increasing. And so whenever you see that, and I guess there's the latest scan, whenever this little inflow notch, or what we call an inflow notch, which basically means that all of this warm air that's south near Perkins, Cushing, Shamrock, Kearney, west of Yale, all of that is going to be moving into the storm, allowing it to intensify if that actually happens. I know the last couple of scans, the inflow notch is beginning a little bit bigger, and the one way you can kind of tell if the storm is actually gaining strength, in the last couple of scans, if we go back one right here, it looks more like that little green, next to that little green symbol, the angle kind of what this little inflow notch is at kind of can show you if the storm is actually still rotating and pulling in that air, because you look at that scan and you look back at this one and it looks like it is starting to straighten up a little bit.
yeah, great point. I was just looking at that as well. So they might actually extend this tornado warning to include southern and eastern parts of Stillwater. We are starting to get far eastern part of Stillwater. My bad. So rotation is increasing. Can you pull up velocities on that? Yeah, that's definitely more enhanced rotation. Yeah, so again, tornado warning continues. Glencoe, it does look like you are now safe. Tornado warning should be lifted for your area. Right now, you should just experiencing large hail, heavy rain. And this is also moving to the east at 25 miles per hour. So areas like far eastern Stillwater, Yale, parts of Quay could be affected by this storm. Velocities on this have been increasing. Again, velocities have been increasing. So has hail. Can you pull up hail? Hail core on that looks to be increasing. Yeah, that's wow. Yeah, this could definitely have more tennis balls. So if you live in southern and eastern parts of Glencoe, you will be experiencing large hail. West of Merrimack, northwest of Quay, and even northern parts of Stillwater, there is another hail core near you. Yeah, that's very large hail.
One thing to point out real quick, though, and I know I say this a lot, whenever we're looking at kind of quick burst of, well, and there's another severe thunderstorm warning that just got issued. I just saw that pop up in the background of the radar data. And now let's see if we can zoom back in. Let's see, this warning is going to be for, we can switch modes on Guardian and take that track off. This is going to be for southeastern Noble County and Central Payne, and that goes till 4:45. I guess they're just calling this for severe thunderstorms along a line extending from Glencoe to Ripley, moving east at 10. And I guess, wow, they're calling in the actual warning text itself baseball-sized hail and 70-mile-an-hour winds. So you definitely don't want to get caught outside when this storm arrives to your location, because it's not going to be fun having to run to try and find shelter as fast as you can. But the hail sizes continue to come up. Some of the velocity data looks like it is trying to come up, but it hasn't come up to a level yet that would warrant them issuing a brand new tornado warning. So we'll just have to wait and see if they decide to pull another one, or if this ends up just staying a severe thunderstorm warning, which is entirely possible. If we can go to, I didn't really mean to put the smoothing on velocities. So right here in this area, south of Glencoe, I know the tornado warning, I do believe that it is still in effect. Victor, is that right?
Yes, the tornado warning. No, actually, it just now expired. The tornado warning has expired.
Okay, well, that's good. Well, I guess in that case, just stay alert, because you never know. All of us here in Oklahoma know that the weather changes within 25 seconds. So if you live in Yale, if you live in Oilton, just be alert, be aware. This will be making its way towards Yale by 4:18, 4:36 Oilton, and then Lawrence Creek by 4:57. Just stay weather aware. If this does strengthen again and there's a tornado warning, just take your tornado precautions and be prepared to seek shelter in the event there is no tornado warning. Victor, are you gonna say anything?
No, this looks like the storm does not appear to have any strengthening velocities, although it does still have the mesocyclone, but I doubt it'll drop any more tornadoes. And if it does, we will continue to warn you. In the meantime, we'll be posting regular severe thunderstorm updates on our page, so just stay with us and we'll keep you alert.